What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today on this, the 29th day of August, sitting here at $111.4 thousand. 20 hours, 55 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? What I like and what I don't like about the chart. Let's go over that real quick, okay? What I like about this is that yesterday we closed just barely above where we closed here, right? We did technically close higher than these lows, which is nice to see. We need to persist though. What I don't like is that today is down immediately. But on back to the side of things that I do like, we're down. We have 20 hours, 54 minutes left in the day. We could absolutely come back with a vengeance and finish this day off with a wick to the up or to the downside and move up. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if that's what happened. We've got a ton of shorts that have been piled on over the past 24 hours. A lot of longs have been liquidated or cleared out at least. There was at one point around these same price areas about $3 billion in longs. Now there's only 1.5. There's about $1.5 billion in shorts. Now there's about 2.5. So the tides have turned. And if we're looking at this on a 1-day period, the shorts have it. 7-day period, the shorts have it. 30-day period, the shorts have it, right? There is this one last little island of longs that exists down to 107K. And while we have called for the low to be here, it is very important to remember that we could very well go below this low and still see prices down at 107K, okay? It's very important to remember that. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if we don't get continuation really today, if we get a rejection here right now, and especially if we bearishly engulf yesterday's candle, that could be bad, right? Just because we're looking to do that right now doesn't, I mean, we got 20 hours, 53 minutes left in the day. Hold your horses, right? If you're bearish right now, right? Hold your horses if you're one of these people who is shorting right now just because we've gone a little bit lower. It's not that dramatic, at least not yet, right? 1 hour time frame, if we're looking at this here, we do still have higher lows. Low here, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. But C-Zar, we broke the uptrend. Yeah. I know, right? From here to here, if we look at this, we broke this uptrend too, and then we still moved higher, right? Talking about this uptrend right here, well, we just broke that uptrend. Might we go higher? I think we will. You guys know how I feel about diagonal lines. They typically are very unreliable, and it's when you get below them that you actually find support. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if by the time most of you watch this, we're looking death in the face right now, and I'm saying, hey, we're going to bounce here, right? We're probably not going to go lower. Maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, we can go from there, right? We've been a little bit flip-floppy in this range. If we go down a little bit lower and prove that wrong, I'm happy to flip-flop and say, hey, 107K is where we're going. And also, to put it on notice that that is a very possible outcome in itself. Yeah, we could go to 107K. There's plenty of longs to be liquidated there. But, I mean, we're at the bottom. We're at the low ends of this range, and the shorts keep shorting. They keep going. That's not conducive to a continuation of lower prices. That's actually very problematic if you're a bear and you want to see the price continue lower. I would very much expect that we do reverse at any point in time. Tomato, 111.4K now, 107K. That's very, very close to where we are now. We could do it. We could see a slightly lower low, and if it happened, maybe it's a flash crash. Maybe we slowly bleed down, whatever. But I'm not calling for that. I actually am right now calling for the low to be here. Let's look at the indicators, okay? 1 hour RSI. We do have lower lows in the RSI, but we have higher lows in the price. I guess here we have a lower low and here we have a lower low, but overall, higher lows in the price. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. We're getting overbought. We're not getting oversold. Let's see if we can find support here and move up. The stochastics do have bullish divergence, and we're crossed up right now. Let's see if we can turn that around and start to move up. The MACD is at the zero, and we like to find support at the zero line most of the time, or resistance at it. So let's see if we can do that and move up. We've got bullish divergence on the histogram, as well as being at this area to bounce. Bullish divergence on the stochastics, and we're at an area to bounce in the RSI, an area that we've bounced at before. It just depends on what we do here, right? 51 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. I know that it's coming up green a little bit, but we still have 51 minutes left in this 1 hour. We could absolutely come back down and close red. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame. Let's see. Let's get it going here. Let's see. Bullish divergence on the MACD as well. I can't believe that this would be, I can't imagine that this would be too reliable, but the RSI is probably going to be reliable. We do have bullish divergence on the RSI. I don't think we're going lower, guys. I think this is a tease, and this is exactly what I was calling for yesterday, was that we would get some kind of tease. I said 111.5K. Boo-hoo, we went down to 111.3K. Sue me. I was off by $200, and maybe we go lower. Again, if we go lower, we'll know. Let's actually talk about that real quick. What would it take for me to be scaled? What would it take for me to be a little bit nervous that we're going to go lower? I would say get this 4 hour time frame and the next 4 hour time frame. Get both of them to close below 111.6K. If we do that, if we close below this yellow line on both of these 4 hour time frames, this one that ends in 50 minutes and the next one, we get 2 in a row to do that, then I'm wrong and we're going lower. Okay? Or if we happen to move down low enough in the next 50 minutes here, I would say that if we get below 110.4K sorry, 110.5K, that would be enough to make me think that I was wrong as well. So get below 110.5K, drop about $1,000 in the next 50 minutes, and that might, if you don't want to wait for 2 4-hour candles to close, this one and the next one, that might be enough. But it's looking like we're going to come back up. I don't know. 50 minutes left in this 4-hour time frame. That's a good move down. That's a pretty damn big candle relative to all these candles here. But the amount of volume is insignificant. It's not even average. So I would say, who cares, right? Who cares? I think people are too antsy to see this thing drop. They're making the wrong decisions, right? We're at the same price as we were yesterday. When we were here, the longs outweighed the shorts by far. It was like 2-1. Now the shorts outweigh the longs. We're in the same. It's a difference of like $500. You guys are crazy. You know what I mean? It's and maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm crazy. You're crazy. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. Looking at the 4-hour RSI. I would like it. We don't have enough really at this point in time to be completely bullish on the RSI. Things are turning the tide a little bit, but we could come down. We could still come down from here. And if we were to come down like that, I mean, in all fairness, maybe we go lower and we still don't go below this low, but we could see some kind of lower low here. What would that be? I mean, if we found support at 110.5K, $110,100, we could, we could find support somewhere around there. But I wouldn't like to see us close below $110,480,000. If we close below $110,482, that'd be problematic on a 4-hour time frame, or at least 2 4-hour time frames in a row. I don't know if we do though, but we could go down there. Okay, just because we go down there doesn't mean that it's bearish. We could wick down there and then come back up. Again, prices going down there are different than closing prices down there. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, I don't know how to make sense out of it for you. The stochastics do look bearish momentarily. I'm not going to lie. They don't look good here on the 4-hour time frame, but you have found support at this 50 before. Resistance here before, support here before. It's the 4-hour time frame, so the rules are a little bit less rigid. Maybe you do bounce here. And then the MACD, there's bullish prospects, but the fact that you're rearing your head a little bit pointed down here, I don't think that's a good look. So let's try and get these next 4-hour candles to close green. Ideally getting this to cross above the zero and push through. We might have a bullish weekend and a bullish end of the month, which would be pretty nice to see. I absolutely, hold on. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, it's okay. It's not a problem. Daily time frame here. Let's look at the daily time frame. Looking at the RSI, we are in the same areas that we found support really for months now, right? We found support down here right at the oversold zone, just above the oversold zone at the 35. Since March, it's been pretty damn reliable all year. It's been very reliable, this area here. That doesn't mean that it has to be reliable now. And here's something that's in the bear's favor, right? Whenever you bounce, typically it's a while before you bounce here again. Typically it's a while before you bounce here again, and it's a while. It's a while. And here we've been doing it pretty cordially, pretty continuously, and I don't know if that's a good thing. That getting these consistently is the better word. Getting these consistent weak readings is not necessarily a good thing in itself, but finding resistance at the 50, coming down, finding support here, you're combating the bad with the good. The good's just not prevailing overall. We're definitely being held down. We'll know soon enough, but my thoughts are that we do move up. My thoughts are this is a game of chicken. Who's going to turn their head first? I think it's going to be the Bears, and we're going to be moving up here pretty damn soon. I had a friend ask me, I need to respond to him. I had a friend ask me what I think about September being red, because apparently, and this is something that maybe I've heard of before, but I just forgot. Apparently, every 4th year in the bull cycle, or in the cycle itself, not the bull cycle, but the 4th year in the crypto cycle, every 4th September has been a dump month. Let's just see, okay? So that September was red, right? So this would be the bear market 1 year, 2, 3, 4 would be 2014, right? Would that be right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it would be here because the cycles, I guess, did they start before 2012? We didn't have our halving. I don't know. It would be the last year of the bull cycle, so that would be 2017. Here we did have a dump, but it was we were down -8%. That's a pretty neutral month. We did drop. Let's see. We did drop here, from an open to close. It's 37% of a dump, yeah, but we closed neutral. So September was a bit of a bloodbath, but we came back up bullish. There was also some money to be made if you bought the low there, right? We did have some upside too, as much downside as we had. The last September that we had here in 2020, would it be 2021 September? That one was pretty red as well. Would it be this September? That September was was red as well. But they're neutral, 7% to the downside, very neutral, not a big drop. That one was 7% to the downside as well, not a big drop, not a bloodbath at all. The last 2 Septembers in a row that we've had have been green. That one was up 4%, and then last year September was up 7%. I've called for September to be green the last 2 years in a row, and the last 2 years in a row, it's been the same exact rhetoric as what we're hearing now, is that everybody's super bearish on September, saying it's going to be a bloodbath, when the reality is September is more of a neutral month. It's not a dump month, it's more of a neutral month, green or red. So my thoughts are we're going to actually see a very bullish September. I think that we're going to bounce here. We're going to move up. I think we're going to go up into September. I don't even know if we drop at all in September, because I was expecting that we would drop in the beginning of September, but I'm starting to think that we're going to pump into it. I'm rambling at this point, you guys. I need to end this video. But overall, looking at the monthly time frame, if we close this month of August here, we're right at the overbought zone. We better hope to all things holy in the crypto space that we don't close September red, because if we close August here, it's the 29th. We got 2 days left. If we close August here and we close September red, we're getting out of the overbought zone. And I can't tell you how detrimental that would be on the monthly time frame. We don't want to do that, okay? Sometimes you get the pump fake, but oftentimes it lasts for months, okay? Oftentimes it lasts for even years, okay? So don't do that. Don't get out of the overbought zone. We don't want to do that. We would be in a perfect situation to bounce right off the overbought zone, though, if September was green. So hopefully we do that. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think we're bouncing here. I got nothing else to say, guys. I need to go to bed. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'm bullish as long as we're not closing below, what was it again? 100, was it 110.5K? If we get 2 4-hour candles to close below $111.66 thousand here on the index, let's look at the Binance chart. I feel like the Binance chart's a little bit more reliable. There's more volume being traded there. Let's do this one. Hold on. Low to high. 111.6K. If we close below 111.6K, 2 4-hour candles in a row, then I would be nervous. If we close below $110.5 thousand or $110,482, just 1 4-hour candle, that would make me nervous as well. But again, those nerves only take us down to about 105.7K to 107K itself. I don't think we'd go too much lower than that. Quick drop, and then I bet we'd be back up before we know it. We could do this. We could literally drop and then come back up and be at higher prices than we are now, all by the end of this month, all over the next couple of days. So fret not, hodl, buy the dip if it comes, and hold the rip when it comes. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.